Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going? How's the weather in DC? It's beautiful here in Atlanta.
Weather is good. It finally, last week was so cold, and then we finally broke it, and we're in like the 40s and the 50s, which is relatively good. So I think we had a rain a few days ago. You guys probably got it now, but yeah, it's good.
We're in high 60s and 70s. We're getting rain later this week, though. So maybe that's where it's
Uh,
coming from. Yeah.
must be nice.
Yeah. All right, what you got for us?
So I am going through the Oscar movies, and the reason, again, because I want to watch the Oscar movies, but we are at a point in kind of the theater releases where we're getting just kind of things that are waiting for the Oscars to happen, and then we'll start getting kind of more of those critically acclaimed movies. So we have like an animated movie that came out this weekend, and Dog, that I didn't go watch, but seems to be popular among the kids. But the movie I went to go see is Conclave,
Oh, yeah.
which is one of the best picture nominated movies. I don't know if you've seen this yet, Steven, or not, but it's streaming on Peacock. If you have Peacock, you can watch it right now. And it follows Ray Fiennes as a dean of the Vatican. And the Pope just had a heart attack. He's passed on. So he's now in charge of running the conclave, which is the process of picking a new Pope. And so during this movie, we get kind of the next few days of how that goes, the inner workings of the Vatican and the Church and things like that, and what ultimately the cardinals who come to town decide in the film. I don't want to spoil it too much. It's a really good movie. It has John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, Isabella Rossellini in the film. But yeah, I really liked it. It's really, first of all, the lighting is really well done. The cinematography is well done. They really set up the scene. Uh, Vatican's always had that kind of mysterious part about it. So it kind
Yeah.
of shows you kind of the inner workings of it, how like these dinners look, how there's their voting process, things like that look, and really shines a light on kind of that like mysterious aspect. But also gives a little bit of mystery and you trying to figure out, well, who is going to be the next pope and who are they going to pick. So highly recommend. Great job by everyone in the cast. And I don't know if it'll win best picture. It'll probably win a few awards, maybe for sound and lighting or something like that, but definitely worth a watch.
You think it's best picture worthy?
I think it's worthy. Yeah, I think it's good enough to be nominated, especially
Okay.
since they picked 10 films. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
uh, Other than that, I started watching. So this was a Netflix series that came out last, I think, December. 100 Years of Solitude,
Hmm.
and it's a TV series based on a famous Colombian author who wrote the book of the same name, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And it follows the story of this family who sets up this town somewhere in an unknown location in kind of South America, Central America, and what's going on with that family over the course of time. There's some mystical elements to it. I'm only about 3 episodes in, so we're getting a little bit of like kind of magical stuff happening. But so far, it's really good. It's all in Spanish, so it's you have to put subtitles on, but the book is celebrated as one of the best books of like the 20th century of like world
Okay.
literature, and it does a really good job. I wouldn't say I'm into like the soap opera shows over years
Yeah.
following family dynamics, but this one does a really good job, and you really want to know what's going to happen next and what happens to the family members as it goes along. So highly recommend that. It's on Netflix. And then finally, just catching up with Severance. Saw the
Oh,
latest
yeah.
episode. It was good. It's a show where I'm gonna watch, and 80% of it's gonna be fluff or filler, and then we're gonna get like the good stuff in the last 20 minutes. And I felt
Right.
like this episode was like that, where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm getting some more details instead of just filling it up. But it's TV, so what can I do? But
Right.
still worth watching.
Okay. Well, I watched nothing. I didn't watch any movies or anything. But yeah, I'll leave it there.
Did you
But
watch the Grammys?
I did watch the Grammys. I did watch the Grammys last night. I actually, I've been going live on TikTok lately, so I was actually live while I was watching it. But I thought it was really good. I thought it was something for everybody. And Beyonce finally broke her she
Characters,
had been,
yeah.
yeah, not winning best album, new album or best album of the year, but she won it last night, so that was good. and Kendrick Lamar swept his categories, which was great. So yeah, they
How
said
was the performance? What was your favorite performance?
I don't know because there were a lot of great performances, really like good. You put a lot into it. I don't know. They were all good. I'm telling you. Like I didn't hear anyone. I was like, ugh. They were all.
Okay, that's good to know. I
Oh,
heard.
well, okay. There was a but I thought I was so before the on YouTube they show the part of the ceremony they don't show on TV.
Mhm,
So I happened to be scrolling looking for something, and I thought I had pressed on it. This podcast I watched, and I pressed on it. Then I saw Money Long singing, song "Nobody Loves Me." Like she was singing that, and I was like, and when I saw it, I looked at it like, did she miss that note? But I was like, I wasn't paying attention. I thought it was just something on YouTube, and then I turned it off and went back to the podcast, and then I saw on the news that saw like on blogs and stuff that she did perform and that people were kind of questioning her performance. And then I heard that she struggles from lupus because I've seen her perform like on different shows and she sounds amazing. But they were showing out some of the parts where you could tell she was kind of struggling. But they said that
mhm.
she does have lupus, and so that could have been it, or she could have just been sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But she sounded good most of the song with a certain note, like it was a note that she at one point just pulled the mic away and came back and sang. Um,
yeah,
but again, people have off nights, and she won the Grammy. I think it was her first Grammy, and she again we all know she can sing.
yeah, yeah. I heard The Weeknd was a letdown. Um,
So I saw him on stage. I didn't know who it was at first, but I saw him on stage because he was a surprise performance,
yes, yeah, it was a surprise
and
guest.
and I didn't really hear him because I was still on live when he was performing. But it was a letdown. You heard?
Well, so I heard there was a couple things. First of all, they announced this like surprise guest, and everyone's like, "Is it going to be like Bob Dylan, Timothy
Right,
Chalamet singing? Is it who's going to be the surprise guest?" And
right.
then it's The Weeknd, and I didn't know, but apparently he boycotted the Grammys like four
Yeah, he
years ago.
did. He did.
And so I was like, "Oh, so this is your surprise guest, someone who boycotted this and is
Yeah,
back and now." And then I just heard like the song, I don't know what song, maybe he did Blinded by the Lights or whatever, but it was just not compared to the rest of the show. Like, you're getting
right.
outstanding performances from these top artists and then he just kind
Yeah,
of shows up.
yeah. It's funny because some of these artists I don't have a clue who they are. But there were a lot of talented artists who won and who performed, and it was kind of political. Some of the messaging, what's her name? Shakira, she won, and she, shouted out the immigrants who are being
Mhm,
deported. Lady Gaga, she won. Her and Bruno Mars won for their duet, and she talked about the transgender community.
mhm.
Um, Beyonce, she didn't get really political, but she talked about, because this whole thing about should she be in the country genre or whatnot. And she said that she thinks that they use genre as a way of keeping, as a code word of keeping artists in their place. And she encouraged everyone to do what feels right to you. Trying to think. But yeah, it was people had their little
Yeah,
message. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I need to watch some of the performance. I want to see Chapel Roan's. I want to see, is it Doechi? Am I saying
Dochi, Dochi.
Dochi?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did really good. She did really good.
yeah. So
She
those
gave
are
a
some.
great speech too, as well. Just encouraging people. She's from Tampa, Florida, apparently, and she was saying how everybody thinks it's just Miami, but no, there's Tampa. We have a lot of good talent there. So she said A&Rs come out there, and so
That's because the rest of the Florida is so, not
right,
as great,
it's
so to
Florida,
speak.
right,
Yeah,
right, right. We love
exactly.
Florida. We love Florida, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But anything coming down the pipeline? I know you said that you think some of the you said a certain type of movie.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's the new Captain America's coming out, but I
Yeah,
think people are kind of over the Marvel thing. This will be the big, like, are people back into Marvel after we've had so
yeah,
many villains in the past year or so, so we'll see that, but, I'll probably just keep going down the list. There's, like, some I probably won't see on the Oscar list, but I do wanna still catch up on a few more.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you as always for letting us know what to spend our time and money on, and what not. And we'll see you again next Monday.
Alright, thanks.
All right, back after this.